Hi, my name is Kevin Taylor. We are going to fact check the president. This is With All Due Respect. So with all due respect, before I start today's episode, I would like to tell our dear followers that on Tuesday, I'll be hosting a gentleman on Loud Silence Radio to discuss this particular topic I'm about to treat extensively. In fact, we will be discussing the credibility of the finance minister if he's actually as credible as the president says. I'll be joined by Alfred Amuzu. Yes, Alfred Amuzu, a CPA, CMA, CIA, CFE, CISA, and CISSP. He also holds an MBA in Finance and Economic Valuation. He's also an enterprise risk management expert and also advises executive at the highest echelons of the United States government. This gentleman has read the 2020 budget from page 1 all the way to the last page. He has lots and lots of revelations to tell Ghanaians. So on Tuesday, Ghana time 3 p.m., meet myself and this gentleman on Loud Silence Radio to discuss these issues. Now, with all due respect, the president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, last Friday met the press and talked about his government's performance. The president, who believes his government is doing a marvelous job, didn't mince words. Yes, after he rubbished assessments from credible outfits like Imani and foreign diplomats on the abysmal performance of his government. In fact, Akufo-Addo graded himself and his government performance close to 80%, but the ordinary Ghanaian on the street thinks otherwise. The president spent much of last Friday's Meet the Press and counter speech spouting outright lies, making more empty promises, blaming his opponent for his low performance, showering praises on himself and his cousin, the finance minister, Ofori-Atta, and touting the Ghanaian economy. I never expected anything fantastic from the president though, but the level of emptiness of the speech was too grave to ignore. Listening to comments on radio and reading comments on social media after the program, I can confidently say Ghanaians have lost interest or have lost hope in this president and his government. Today, we will be fact-checking the President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, on the lies he peddled when he met the press last week. What I realized after the Meet the Press meeting was that the president's speech was tailored towards deceiving the populace who are already in the worst form of livelihood brought upon them by his own government. I feel ashamed on behalf of my government, on behalf of the NPP, which promised heaven, but almost 3 years into its tenure has no meaningful development to show to Ghanaians like myself, except mere continuous deceit, blame games, and display of lack of vision in actualization of its bogus campaign promise for good governance. The president boldly lied to Ghanaians on so many issues, from health, education, job creation, infrastructure, all the way to manipulation of figures. Today, we will fact-check the president and expose his lies and deceit. I've said that we, the new generation, will not just swallow anything these politicians throw at us. From today, we will fact-check them. We will fact-check people in government till the day of the elections. With all due respect, the president lied on so many things when he met the press on Friday. The first was how, after almost 3 years, Akufo-Addo still maintained the stale rhythm of meeting an empty treasury after the hard evidence of huge funds left behind by the Mahama administration. It's a fact. Anyone can go check it. The reason why I say this is simple. Where did the Akufo-Addo government get money to fund the free SHS in its first year? And where did his administration get money to pay the arrears Ghana owed the ECOWAS Peacekeeping Secretariat the first week of its administration? Where did he get the money from? These and many more we can talk about, my fellow Ghanaians. While the president rejoiced in what I would describe as self-delusion, that his government has performed above average, his government is yet to make any appreciable movement. The truth is that the president and his party have not been able, the president and the party I belong to, have not been able to deliver any of our major promises. It's a fact. We, the NPP, could not deliver on a single major promise in our manifesto. So I believe we don't have the moral right to criticize other people's promise and to ask for another term. The opposition at least can boast of what they have in their green book. They can boast of it. which till date we the MPP have failed to contest. All that we the MPP can boast of is free SHS. I guess free SHS answers all questions, and I will always remind the president and this government of what Otufo told them some weeks ago, that free SHS alone cannot win you another term. That is what Otufo told the president. With all due respect, my fellow Ghanaians, now let's fact check the president. The president lied to Ghanaians when he said his government has eliminated the cash and carry system and restored the NHIS. That was also a great lie. Just this Thursday, private health facilities across the nation released a press statement threatening the return of cash and carry in hospitals across the country. This actually explains vividly why this president is a liar and can't be taken serious. The president does not respect us, my fellow Ghanaians, and feels he can just walk to the mic and lie to us because there will be no consequences. Today, multi-million-dollar projects, multi-million-dollar hospitals are being left to rot all because this president, Akufo-Addo, is so arrogant and feels his predecessor will take credit if he commissions them. I was shocked to the bone when the president explained why the ambulances we Ghanaians purchased to save our lives had not been distributed. The president's answer to the question on the ambulances show his emptiness when it comes to governance and confirms the selfishness and greed of the president. My fellow Ghanaians, from the president's answer, one thing was clear. His immediate interest is political power, not the interest of Ghanaians. Two of his appointees, as you can see here, recently went to the States and to deliver. Yes, they even don't want their kids to be Ghanaians. These are the people we are feeding with our money. They went to ultra-modern hospitals in the US to deliver. His appointees traveled to South Africa, United States, and some European countries for medical checkup. The vice president is a victim and for all sorts of treatments. And then we sit here and praise these people. Another lie the president told. The president told Ghanaians he paid 80% of contractors over 2 billion cedis. The same person turns around and tells Ghanaians that the last administration never constructed any road because all the roads existed only in their green book. The question is simple. So who did the president pay the 2 billion cedis to? And for what work? This shows the disrespect this president has for us. Again, another fact check and prove the president lied again. The president said the fiscal deficit as at 2016 was 6.1% and not 9.3%. The embarrassing thing here is in their own 2020 budget, and I'll say this, in our own, we, the MPP, our own 2020 budget, 6.1 was what was stated. So why should we believe this president? This president is a liar. This president does not respect us. He is full of lies and deceit. Another lie the president told in his Meet the Press program was that last year there was bumper harvest in cassava, plantain, yam and maize because planting for food and jobs did the magic. The president showed his ignorance when it came to his own program because cassava, plantain and yam all do not fall under planting for food and jobs. Yes, they don't fall under it. And I hope he does not come out to say he was misled. With all due respect, my fellow Ghanaians, the president scored himself 72%, rubbishing Imani's report on his government's performance. Ghanaians do not need special lenses to see the escalating insecurity, rising political uncertainties, biting economic hardships, corruption, nepotism, human rights abuse, as well as prevailing tension in the country. All this happening indicates that the country is collapsing under President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and his party, the party I belong to, the NPP. The president and his party have held Ghanaians hostage and being treated like conquered people. Yes, we are being treated like slaves. Ghanaians can no longer freely exercise their constitutionally guaranteed rights. The president has ruined the economy and led our nation to become the world's capital of poverty, while condoning the humongous corruption that has become the hallmark of his failed administration. Did I hear the president say he's still incorruptible? Did I hear Akufo-Addo say he's still incorruptible? He should be told that nepotism is the mother of corruption. Corruption is not just taking bribe and fixing it into your pocket. The mind-boggling corruption in this administration is carrying away investors, as the diplomat told him. The prevailing situation of hopelessness under his watch is threatening our national cohesion and corporate existence as a nation. And the president doesn't want the foreign diplomats to speak against corruption in his administration. Where was the president when that useless British High Commissioner, John Germain, was chastising and making fun of the past administration? Why didn't he speak against his actions? If he feels too big to be criticized, then he must as well stop taking loans and grants from these people. This is the first time we are witnessing this trend. Ambassadors and high commissioners speaking aggressively about corruption in the government. He deliberately swerved the question on nepotism. He danced around the question by showering praises on his cousin, the finance minister, who is the chief architect of the mess we are going through today. His answer to that very question confirms his insincerity and deceitful nature. My fellow Ghanaians, this president has lost all his credibility when it comes to corruption. He is the opposite of what was cooked or what was sold to us in 2016. My fellow Ghanaians, this is just the beginning of the conversation. On Tuesday, 5 p.m. Ghana time, meet me and meet Amuzu on Loud Silence Radio and just be part of the conversation. We are going to delve deep, dissect the issues. My fellow Ghanaians, this is the time that we have to come together and take our country, take it. I know this language, people don't like it, but this is the time, especially the youth. We have to come together peacefully and take our country away from the criminals we have given power to. My name is Kevin Ekobedu Taylor, and this is With All Due Respect.